Welcome back Around the Circle. I'm Jalea Brooks. If you think summertime around the circle was exciting, fall is looking to exceed expectations already. We've got plenty of events to tell you about as we head our way into October, but here's how some of you kept busy in September. So the middle of September, the 15th, marks the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month, the 15th through October 15th. And it's a time to highlight the histories, contributions, and communities of those with Hispanic or Latino roots. And sharing diverse stories and community events is at the center of what we aim to highlight and celebrate here on Around the Circle, along with the fun happenings. And while many organizations are still making efforts to do the same this month, it is noticeably different than some of the events that many of us are used to. So one of the first to share those changes was Fiesta Indianapolis, one of Indy's most popular annual events put on by the organization La Plaza. It's been around for decades, but it was canceled by organizers in late August, citing recent policy changes by state and federal leaders. Reporter Brandon Schaff has more on the immediate response to this longtime tradition and the decision to pivot this year.
Fiesta Indianapolis is organized by Latino nonprofit La Plaza. In a release this week, they announced that the festival was canceled, quote, after thoughtful consideration of several factors beyond our control, and most importantly, out of deep concern for the safety and well-being of the Hispanic community. Lena Caudill lives in downtown Indianapolis and said that it's sad the event was canceled due to safety concerns, but understands safety is a priority.
It is a little kind of disappointing that we're in a time where we can't celebrate the culture in a safe way.
Fiesta Indianapolis is a huge celebration in downtown Indianapolis, right here, celebrating Hispanic culture. Well, even though it's not happening in person this year, they're still finding ways to celebrate that culture in a different way.
By partnering with Univision and keeping those stories present and still educating the community of Indianapolis, I think that's still great.
Nicole Martinez-Legrand with the Indiana Historical Society explained that Fiesta is the state's largest Hispanic and Latino festival. She said that La Plaza partnering with Univision doesn't replace Fiesta, but continues to celebrate Latino culture in Indy. People we spoke with agree, saying support doesn't begin and end with the festival, noting local shops play a big role in lifting up the Hispanic community.
Not only like different cultural groups, but also ethnic and religious groups as well. So definitely shop local, and I understand the community's support.
Thousands attend Fiesta, and this year's would have been on September 20th at American Legion Mall. La Plaza said that it's always been a celebration of shared heritage, resilience, and joy. Martinez-Legrand talked about what it will be like when the festival returns.
It's still going to be the same lively events that you'll have with, just the community and people who support the community or people who want to learn more about the Latino community.
La Plaza added that they'll work with Univision to highlight the people, places, and stories of Central Indiana's Latino community. Brandon Schaff, 13 News.
Now, despite the cancellation, they thanked the community for their support. We did reach out to ask organizers to join us here for an interview on Around the Circle. They did refer us to this original statement that they shared with us in August, but a spokesperson told me that they encourage people to connect through laplaza-indy.org and to stay tuned to their social media channels for more ways they'll be highlighting the positive impacts of the services that the organization provides. Another event taking on a new virtual look this year is put on by the Indiana Latino Expo. Check out this interview with Felicia Lawrence and Dustin Grove about some of the changes this year.
And it's a time to recognize the contributions and the influence of Hispanic culture on our nation's achievements, culture, as well as history. Joining us now live in studio is Carolina Castellano from Indiana Latin Expo with more on this month's events. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So events and celebrations, they have actually been, usually they're happening everywhere, but many have gone virtual. Why is that happening this year?
Well, it's been a discussion in our community amongst several organizations since the beginning of the year about what this would look like. And a lot of us really wanted to not kind of cave into the fear and move forward. But with so many changes happening at the federal and state level, I think that at least for us at Indiana Latino Expo and some other organizations, the safety and concerns of our community should take priority. So for us, that looks like moving the expo to a virtual format and working with community partners to try to still bring the same resources and honor the work that our sponsors are doing in the community, but trying to eliminate that fear and risk for community members.
What are you hearing in the community about that? How does that weigh on you and on those who are involved?
Yeah, so aside from working for the organization, I'm also a community advocate, and I have a coalition that I co-founded called ALMA, which is the Alliance for Latino Migrant Advocacy. So that allows me to be boots on the ground and kind of have my ear to the ground as well. And there is a lot of fear. Many people are, trying to figure out arrangements for their family in the event that they are detained or deported, wanting to know which counties are safe to go to and which ones are cooperating heavily with Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement. And so this has created fear just in everyday routine, getting to and from work or getting their kids to and from school. So things like celebrations during Hispanic/Latino Heritage Month would normally be something we're all coming out for, but it's kind of a less concern at this point. So if they're fearful of going to live their everyday lives, they're even more fearful of congregating, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So despite that fear, you all as organizers wanted to still make sure that this moment was being marked with some celebration and honoring and awareness of the issues too.
Yes, because the Latino community, especially here in Indianapolis, is so significant, and our contributions, not only to the economy, but the culture of Indianapolis, are profound. And we want to continue to honor that and to remind our community members that we are a significant contribution to this society, and that it doesn't go unnoticed, and that we deserve to have some form of celebration for ourselves as well. We just have to exercise a lot more caution these days.
Okay, so how can people take part in this? How can we be involved?
Sure. So on our website for the Indiana Latino Expo, which is indianalatinoexpo.org, we have some resources. There's a tab dedicated to the expo, so it'll go into detail about the partnerships that we have with the community and how we are planning to still bring those resources. And then I'm hoping to be able to update as people are confirming whether they are doing in-person events or not.
Okay.
I know that like Carmel recently had one this past weekend.
I heard that was amazing. I heard about that one.
It was, but the other caveat to that was that it was not as many Latino attendees as other demographics, and again, for the fear. So there are still ways to be able to learn about the culture and to participate in celebration. It just may look a little bit different, and I think people are moving to more controlled areas, maybe with registrations. I know that we have done that in the past, and that's what I do with my coalition to make sure that we can contain who's coming in and out and people feel a little bit more safe.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Let's put the information on our website. We'll have it eventually. I don't think we have it at this moment, but later we'll have it at WTHR.com/SceneOn13 if you want to check out those links for what's going on this month.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming to share.
Thank you so much.
To lend perspective and also to elevate. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
And that video and link is live on our website right now. WTHR is keeping a list of some more Hispanic Heritage Month events that are happening across our city. We also compiled some past stories that we've shared. I encourage you to check that out, again, at WTHR.com, but right here on WTHR Plus as well. All right, let's go back to the last weekend of September now, but certainly not the least, to the Circle City Classic. This is an annual tradition that goes back 4 decades now, showcasing historically Black college and universities here in Indy. This year, year 41, it was a battle of the Bears at the home of the Colts. The Morgan State University Bears taking on the Miles College Golden Bears. In the end, it was the Morgan State Bears that walked off with the win. The score was 24-17. But, you know, the city of Indianapolis also claims bragging rights to this game, playing host to so many events leading up to the big game. Like one of the fan favorites, the Circle City Classic Parade. So fans flock downtown to catch all the floats, the music and bands, classic cars and more going down Pennsylvania Street. We spoke to some of the local business owners who were a part of it all, and they said they enjoyed seeing everyone just celebrating together.
I've been here for over 10 years, so outside of the salon, if I could do any kind of community event, I will. So I'm here for my girls today and the salon, Freedom Curls, and I just love seeing on their faces how happy they are when they're dancing and having fun and showing off their hair, whipping all the curls around. So it brings me joy to see the community do what they love to do, and that's support each other.
And this year's Grand Marshal for the parade actually was actor and singer Rotimi. Well, Indianapolis also played host to one of the biggest Bengali celebrations of this season, the Durga Puja. Nearly 800 people from Ohio, Kentucky, and here in Indiana gathered to pass down this tradition to the next generation. Our Ella Rhodes takes us there.
People prayed and worshipped Ma Durga in one of many sacred rituals during the tri-state Durga Puja celebration. The Bengali Association of Indiana hosted this year's festival, which drew in hundreds of people from Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Association President Nandita Das describes the celebration as a homecoming for one of their most powerful Hindu goddesses, Durga.
We basically welcome her home and we celebrate with her. And, it's kind of a celebration of good over evil.
Prayer, music, food, and colorful traditional clothing covered the festival wall to wall. Das says this event helps second and third generation families stay connected to their culture.
This is an opportunity for us to teach our children what it means for the culture. So it is our legacy going forward. We tell them what it means, and they hopefully will take it forward when we are long gone.
It's why Dr. Devika Chakrabarti came from Wisconsin. She grew up coming to this celebration and wants to keep up the tradition.
I think it's so easy to forget when you live in the United States and our day-to-day is so Americanized. But being in these kinds of situations with the food and the, sticking to like the true roots of the culture is very helpful in a way that feels like we're in India.
A homecoming in more ways than one. In Indianapolis, Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
Okay, let's get into spooky season now. If you're here for the thrills and chills, get comfortable for a bit. I'm going to run you through a few fall favorites, some you might already know and love, and some new ones that you might be able to add to your list. There are events sprinkled all throughout the month. We even brought some of the scares here in studio. So check out this interview with Felicia Lawrence and some friends.
Okay, we're clearly already having fun here because Indy Scream Park is open in Anderson for you to just be scared out of your mind. And with $300,000 worth of upgrades, the mind-bending changes will not disappoint you. Joining us now to tell you what you can expect this year is Jordan Harmison. He is Indy Scream Park attraction specialist. Thank you for being here.
Of course, thank you for having me.
And thank you for bringing them.
Of course, they always accompany us.
Okay, so the newest attraction is called Neon Nightmare 3D. What is that?
Yes, so it is our fullest interpretation of a horrifying 3D rave. You can feel the bass pounding, your heart pounding, the neon 3D things coming off the wall. You never know where to look in this complete, just loud, crazy party.
Yeah, it just sounds like it's sensory overload. Is that what you guys are going for?
Exactly.
Well, there you go. So why do you think people love haunted houses so much and just being scared?
It's the absolute thrill. It's the adrenaline that even if you aren't the one being scared, it's getting to laugh and enjoy everybody else getting scared and their reactions to it as well.
Oh, so fun. And you guys have actually really invested in what you're doing up in Anderson, spending $300,000 of investments to try to just enhance the guest experience. What are some things people might see or notice, or some improvements that were made?
So the biggest thing is the Neon Nightmare was our biggest one, but adding to that to increase the customer experience, we added new photo spots. That way, instead of just getting to take photos in groups with our actors, you actually be able to be a part of some of the haunts and scares and really feel a part of the show to take home with you and share with your friends and family. And then also upgrading just the customer experience, having nicer restrooms, better drink options, and other things for the customers.
You do so good focusing on all this whole situation that's happening next to us. And then, okay, let's talk about the people who might be like myself. It has been a few years since I've been to a haunted house. How do you all try to protect people and make sure that they are the safest in a spooky situation? Are the actors trained to not touch or to, know who to go after, or how does that training go?
Yeah, so we spend a ton of time of training our actors and making sure that they're the best they can be, but also we do have 2 haunts that are interactive. So if customers that are 18 or older, they can elect, if they choose to wear a necklace, and in 2 of those haunts, the Lockdown and Zombieland Unchained, and those ones, if you're wearing that necklace, you can be grabbed and pulled away and become part of the show, actually.
What?
But you have to choose to do that. You have to choose to do that.
Okay, that just sounds crazy. You guys are grabbing people? Oh my goodness. Okay, Jordan, we appreciate you being here. Just clearly so much fun.
We have more info under this story on our website at WTHR.com/scene-on-13. Okay, so this is one of those activities that may be new to you, but it's actually telling some of Indy's oldest stories. on a true crime tour. So as some of you are looking for something on the supernatural side, you can explore the so-called darker side of Hoosier hospitality. Think gangsters, serial killers, and true crime. If you're interested, I got to check out one of the spots on the infamous Haunts and Horrors tour. Take a look.
Right now we're at Behringer's Tavern. This is a pickup spot for one of our tours. It was actually a really interesting. Behringer's Tavern is one of the oldest bars in the city. It's one of the oldest continuous bars in the city. And you'll notice that in the window there's a sign that says Last Chance. And what that means was this was the last stop that you could get a beer before going more south, maybe to French Lick. So a lot of the gangsters and a lot of people like John Dillinger, Al Capone were known to stop here and have a drink. In fact, Al Capone was known to be fancy of the turtle soup.
Joe Malillo of infamous Indy Tours let me be a tourist of Behringer's Tavern. He guides crime and history buffs on his Haunts and Horrors tours from the basement here to the bar. Oh, you brought props.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them want to know more about the bar's infamous patrons.
So I do bring this along the tour. I want people to feel history, right? When you feel the weight of this, all of a sudden you're like, wow, imagine running through the bank, jumping over the counters, and John Dillinger.
Or imagine not doing that and just being an upstanding citizen. And
of course.
It's not unusual to stop at a tavern for a spirit or two, but many on Joe's tour are looking for the kind you can't get at the bar. Or maybe you can. I love the fact that this is fact-based, because I think when you have people, especially in October, where they think they want to come on a haunted tour or something, maybe they're looking for that paranormal or that spooky sense. They probably leave here with a lot more knowledge than they thought they were going to come here with.
Oh, you might be paranormally touched here, or you should be moved by the paranormal activity that happens at Behringer's. There's been plenty of reports of Behringer's being one of the more haunted places in Indianapolis, and in addition to having the actual factual history about it, you know, we do have some actual video of maybe like a couple of bottles falling off the back wall. I was here, actually, I was standing over there talking to the owner about John Dillinger, and all of a sudden we look over and that bottle falls off the back of the bar. Nobody was around. It was a Saturday night. It was during the Pacers game. I mean, you'd think like, oh, there's no way there's haunted activity. But I swear, nobody was near it. It was very odd.
I think I might be like the opposite of people that would come on the tour in October, because I feel I'm interested in the fact-based part. The paranormal, the haunts, the spooks, that might make me go, you know what? I'm going to catch a different type of tour.
We're going to give you chills in multiple ways.
Okay.
It's going to be a haunted chill, and it'll be a true crime chill. Something that maybe meshes between the two. So, like I said, you know, haunted is not necessarily something that's definitely my avenue, but there is a lot of it, so I do want to share that history with people.
So infamousindytours.com is the website. Just look for the infamous Haunts and Horrors button when you're looking for more information. And while we're on the topic of spooky tours in our city, Indiana Landmarks is actually hosting several tours. They go through two of Indy's historic neighborhoods, Woodruff Place and the Old North Side, highlighting haunted tales, local lore, and some true crime stories too. The Woodruff Place Neighborhood Walking Tour is through the 24th of October from 5:30 until 8 p.m. It is $20 for general public admission, $15 for children ages 6 through 11. Now, the Old North Side Spooky Tour is Saturday, October 18th from 4 o'clock to 8:45 p.m. That one is $23 for the general public and $17 for children ages 6 through 11. Both tours, though, are free to children under 5, and you can find more info on the Indiana Landmarks website. Okay, let's get into some more family-friendly events now. DeAndre Blewett is in studio with me now with something that's a little bit more kid-friendly. Hey.
Yes, the Indiana State Museum is hosting a big Halloween party called Night at the Boo Bash. Get ready for games, music, a costume contest, and even a spooky science show. I got to get a sneak peek. Take a look.
We are about to kick off our spooky season with all sorts of different activities throughout the month of October, happening at all 12 of our locations for the Indiana State Museum and historic sites.
As she said, they're completely ready for a spooky season in the month of October, and they're even having their annual Halloween party, Night at the Boo Bash.
Night at the Boo Bash has become really our signature experience for the spooky season here at the Indiana State Museum. And that is going on October the 10th. The museum's going to stay open late that night until 8:30 so that we have all sorts of activities happening on all 3 floors of the museum. So we encourage children and adults to come in their very best Halloween costumes, and they're going to compete for some really fun prizes. We have DJ playing music all night long, and then the Halloween festivities go into our galleries. So visitors can go and enjoy the science demonstrations with Connie Fusion. We have our Giggle Graveyard where visitors can use flashlights and uncover different hidden epithets back in our boneyard.
And to the boneyard is where she took us next. And I wish I had a flashlight ready myself.
So here in our boneyard, you're gonna see our giant sloth. That's where we got the inspiration for Ross the Sloth and his Giggle Graveyard. Twilight Tales is another really popular event for us during the spooky season, and these are special after-hours tours that are led by our interpreters. The fun thing is that all the stories are going to be age-appropriate. We have, on October 22nd and 24th, we have our Strange Encounters tour, which is perfect for visitors of all ages, so families come out and enjoy those after-hours tours. Then we have on October 29th and 31st, we have our Beyond the Grave tours, which are specifically for adults.
Okay, so I got to bring one of the games with me that I wanted you to try.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna time you.
Okay.
So all you have to do is use these chopsticks.
All right. I'm not great at chopsticks.
And get these spiders into the pumpkin.
Okay, and this will be one of the events that the kids will be able to come out and do.
Yes.
And do I have to use them as, oh, maybe I'm better
And
at
if
this
you
than I
can do
thought.
it, this pumpkin of candy is yours.
It's mine, okay.
Yes.
But is it a timed
It's a
test
prize.
here?
It's normally timed.
Okay.
But let's just see if you can do it first.
How about that? We'll just pretend like I got them all in there in chopsticks and then I get the candy.
If you guys think she deserves it, let us know.
I think they
But I
think
can
I
let you have it
deserve
for
this.
now.
I will take the candy. Okay, thank you. And give
But
us the
yes.
information on this fun event too.
Night at the Boo Bash is October 10th from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Bring your friends, your family, dress up in your most creative costume to win a grand prize. It looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I think it will be a lot of fun. And a lot of families are always looking for ways to maximize their kids' costume all throughout the month. So this is a good one. Thank you for sharing that with us, Dre.
Of course.
All right, here's another family favorite event that we want to tell you about. Zubu is back. Your kids can wear their costumes to this one too. This is out at the zoo where you can enjoy magic and potions and trick-or-treating for the kids and adults too. They also have some fun twists on some of the rides that are already out there at the zoo. Plus, with the cooler temperatures, the animals are actually especially active. Now, Zubu activities and festivities usually start in the afternoon. On Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, Zubu activities are from 2 to 7 p.m., but on Fridays and Saturdays, it's from 2 to 9 p.m., so it goes a little bit later. And then on Halloween, get this, the Zubu festivities will be all day, and they offer half-off admission. All the Zubu events come with your regular general admission when you head in there. More information online as well.
We're having a lot of fun here at Conner Prairie for their Headless Horseman Festival. Today's the first day of it. I'm joined here with an axe throwing specialist, Rachel Middleton. How are you?
Good, how are you?
So tell me a little bit about what you have here at the festival.
So I'm with Anarchy Axe Throwing. We have one of the largest axe throwing facilities in the Midwest. We're located here at 96 in Allisonville, and we can hold up to 150 people. But today we're here at Conner Prairie. We're going to be teaching ages 10 and up, and we're going to let people get a chance to try to throw our 1-pound axe.
So we're going to try this again, right?
Yeah.
All right,
we're going to do this together
for just a few.
All right, so we're going to start with our feet together. We're going to keep our blade up high. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to go over the head, step, and throw.
Oh,
you got to try one more time.
I want for the record to know that I have made it every other time. We'll try
Let's
one more
time.
All right.
All right. Over the head, step, throw.
Okay, well, it might just be right now, but there's so much more to do. They have slides, they have food, they have a corn maze, a hay ride, face painting, plenty of different things to do here at Conner Prairie's Headless Horseman Festival. Now, this is going on starting today up until October 26th. It's from Thursdays to Sundays, and you can get your tickets online.
Well, concert season doesn't have to end in the summer. Rising country star Hailey Whitters will be playing a show at Hi-Fi Indy on October 10th to celebrate the release of her latest album, Corn Queen. 13 News' Ariana Sergio caught up with Hailey to talk about her album, her collaborations, and why she decided to pursue music in the first place.
To me, this record is about like perseverance. It's about resilience. I think like I've grown a lot in the last year. I paint a pretty picture online a lot of times, but last year was a really difficult year for me, personally and professionally. I was riding the high of having a hit with Everything She Ain't, but I was also, so many things were falling apart behind the scenes. And I think that, they say a queen holds her head high even when her crown is slipping. And, that's something that just kept coming back to me. And it was just keep going, keep your head up, And so I hope that when people hear this record, that's what they take away. And on those days that it's they can hardly drag themselves out of bed, they put this record on and it kind of gives them that little kick in the butt that they need to get out there and take on the world. Because that's what this record did for me.
Got more information and ticket info for Haley's show at WTHR.com. We got some more fall events to share with you here. It's time for the pumpkins, but also cider and beer, all the fall favorites. You can get all of that at the 10th annual Pumpkin Cider and Fall Beer Festival. Yes, there is a festival for that. It makes its return on Saturday, October 11th at Opti Park. It'll run from 2 until 6 that evening. There will be over 80 pumpkin ales. They'll have seasonal ciders and some more fall-inspired drinks and brews. There will also be food and shopping, so a little something for everybody. If you want some ticket info, just visit the Union Jack Pub site in Broad Ripple. And if you don't get enough at that event, here's one that you might enjoy too. I hope your taste buds are ready for this next one, especially if you love chicken and beer, because there is a festival with that in mind. The annual Chicken and Beer Festival is back in downtown Indy this month, and our Matthew Foltz spoke with the organizer and gives us a sneak peek at what you can expect this year.
Well, hey everyone, we are gearing up for this year's Chicken and Beer Festival happening in downtown Indy, and right now I am at one of the participating restaurants, Huevos Breakfast and Brunch on the north side. I'm joined here by the owner of this fine establishment as well as the organizer of this year's festival. And Bradley, I guess let's kick it off. What is this festival all about?
It's a celebration of food and culture, drinks, education. It's all about the local restaurants, spotlighting them, making sure everybody knows all the amazing food that we have in the city.
Yeah, and Hasman, you're one of the participating restaurants. Is this your first year being in the festival?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. It's our first year, and it's an honor. I'm glad Bradley invited us out to showcase some special dishes we got going on.
And to speak of the special dishes, it all looks good. Tell me what we got and what's going to be in this year's festival.
So what we have is our shrimp and grits topped with catfish and bacon crumbles. We have a catfish slider on a waffle. And then we have one of our most popular dishes, which is our chicken and waffles. It's stuffed with bacon inside of it. And then we have a play on our chicken and waffles, but as a slider. So if you're looking for something a little less mess and you can just grab and go, we'll have that available at the festival this year.
Wow. And talk about, Bradley, how it works. So people that come out, they can buy their ticket, gets them a few samples of whatever vendor of their choice?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're a VIP, you get an hour early entrance and you get 5 chicken samples. And I won't just say samples, they're tastings. Restaurants are really showcasing what they're about. So nice small size portion tastings, but you can also purchase directly bigger items from the restaurants and support them direct. And so your ticket gets you entry and also gets you tastings from the best vendors that we have at the festival.
And how many restaurants and vendors do we have this year?
Yeah, so we have close to 45 or so. We might have more, people just are continuing to pop up. They're excited about this event. This is our 5th year anniversary, so it's a big time for us and just a big time for the local restaurant community.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, what made you kind of kick this off and what does it mean to the city? I know you said you kind of started it after the pandemic.
Yeah, so, we know COVID just destroyed restaurants and just lost our connection with in-person connections. And so we wanted to create something that brought that back together, brought restaurants back in front of their customers in a face-to-face format. This festival is just important. We don't have a lot of signature food festivals here in Indianapolis. So I wanted to create something, one that connected with the culture. Chicken and beer is just universal. Every restaurant has some type of chicken item on it, so we want to really highlight that. And we're a big brewery production state, so we want to really showcase our breweries, but also beverage entrepreneurs, people that are coming up in different lanes and drinks. And so it's not just beer, it's seltzers, it's teas, it's non-alcoholic beverages, and just innovative cocktails. So we got a little something for everybody at the festival.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Great food and great drinks are to be had, so we appreciate you guys taking the time. And of course, tickets are still available. It will be happening Saturday, October 18th over at University Park, which is right next to the War Memorial in downtown Indy. Again, tickets are still available, so we'll have all that information for you at WTHR.com, and we can't wait to see you there.
Well, this is a film enthusiast's dream. The Heartland International Film Festival, this year, year 34, more than 100 films are being shown here in Indianapolis. One of those films is Sweet Lorraine in Auschwitz, a documentary about a Hoosier Holocaust survivor, Frank Grunwald, and his story of survival and resilience intertwined with American jazz music. 13 News' Ariana Sergio spoke with the director and the producer about sharing Frank's story.
You know, when you see where he lived, when you see where he walked, when you see where he suffered, it was, you know, it was very powerful. You never lost sight of just how important this. As a matter of fact, the story became even more visceral. And you know, you cannot visit Auschwitz and not leave changed.
Walking away, I really want people to walk out of there and say, okay, what can I do now? There's a lesson there that unfortunately humanity, society hasn't learned yet.
I think one of the things that one of the ways in which this story works for us is that we're telling a story about this one family that represents, you know, everybody. And it's an opportunity to educate, because there are people who still don't quite understand just how deep and evil everything was that was going on at that time. And we really dig into that. And that's a part of the you know, the original idea that Amber had is that this story needs to educate.
As Sweet Lorraine in Auschwitz will be playing at Newfields and the Alamo Drafthouse. Take a look at your screen for some of the dates and showtimes. Sunday, October 12th, it'll be at 1 p.m. at Newfields. And then Thursday, October 16th, that's at 4:45 p.m. At the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema on Sunday, October 19th, it's also at 12 p.m. there at the same place. If you want to get your tickets or read this full story and have more clarity on the dates and times, it's posted at WTHR.com. Now, another film being shown at the Heartland Film Festival is The Tenderness Tour. This tells the story of Indianapolis activist Richard Probst and his journey to raise money to help offset the $155 million in Indiana medical debt. Ariana also has more, and this peels back some of the layers of Richard's journey in this interview.
I think I get closer to who I really am when I'm on the road. I liked the idea a little bit. You know, I'm getting older, so kind of something about the legacy continuing of what I'm doing. And so, but I was like, okay, I want it done this way. I don't want it to be what the disability community calls inspiration porn, you know, just glorifying me because I'm in a wheelchair. I wanted it to be honest and gritty and to tell the story the real way. And I needed, because I do have a trauma background, I needed to be around people who felt safe to me. I knew I couldn't show up as is if I didn't have that. It just kept getting bigger the more they started talking about it, and then, you know, some familiar Heartland names signed on, and it just kept growing.
I think watching Richard grow, I think initially when he started the tour, he was very closed off, and I think he was in a lot of pain. He didn't always share that he was in pain with us. As the tour went on, I think he got stronger, and I think he began to let us in to what was going on with him, not just us, but his roadies. And I think he started having more fun with it.
And the Tenderness Tour will also be playing at a few spots around town at Newfields, the Alamo Drafthouse, and at the Indy Art Center. Here are the dates and showtimes on your screen here. If you want some more information on how to get your tickets, or you want to read more about the story that Ariana just shared with us, you can read the full story at WTHR.com. Well, as you know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're lacing up for the many lives impacted by the disease. Our Dustin Grove sat down with the Susan G. Komen Foundation to learn how you can get involved in the More Than Pink Walk.
Thousands of Hoosiers will step out in strength, solidarity, and support for the fight against breast cancer. It is the Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk. And joining us now is Stephen Hunt, the head of Susan G. Komen here in Indiana, to talk about what this event means and how we can all get involved. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
So Susan G. Komen has really become synonymous with the fight against breast cancer for many, many years. Remind us specifically how this walk helps.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Susan G. Komen Foundation, we really focus on 3 areas. It's research, it's patient care, and it's advocacy. And so everything that we do is funded by walks like the Indianapolis More Than Pink Walk. And for instance, we have generated over $1.1 billion that have gone towards breast cancer specific research over the last 30 some years. And that's because of events just like this.
What's your goal this year?
Our goal this year is $480,000.
Okay.
We're doing pretty well. I always have to remind the committee that that's our full fiscal year goal. So when you look at the website, we may not be right there, but we've got a few extra months after the events to get there. So.
All right. So, you know, you watched this walk, participated in the walk, organized it for years. I'm curious to know just what goes through your mind when you see this massive sea of pink show up on the day of this walk.
It's amazing. I tell you, I share every year. I tend to get very emotional. I cry every year. There's a certain part of the opening ceremony where our survivors come walking. We call it the Parade of Hope. And the survivors walk in order of the most newly diagnosed to the furthest out from their diagnosis. And the whole thought process is that those who have just heard those words, "you have breast cancer," can turn around and see the hundreds of people behind them that have survived. And like I said, I cry every year because it's just so touching and so emotional.
It's quite a movement. More than a walk, it's a movement.
Absolutely.
So you are still accepting people to take part in this Saturday, right?
Absolutely. We'd love to have anyone that would love to come join us. It's easy to register ahead of time. And we do ask for registration because that helps us know what to expect. You know, I want to make sure I have enough water for everyone, especially this weekend when it's going to be a little warmer than normal. So you can register at komen.org/Indianapolis Walk, or you can just show up the day of event and register on site.
Okay, and we will put that on our website, WTHR.com, to make it really easy. Go to the website, we'll have a link there if you'd like to register beforehand. This Saturday, Military Park,
Military
right?
Park.
White River State Park.
Yes, sir.
All right, Stephen, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
WTHR.com/SeenOn13. That's where we'll have the link. Also, just scan that QR code. It'll take you right there.
Thank you, Dustin, and you can end the month walking with a purpose too. Sister Strut is back. This is a 3K breast cancer awareness walk that really shines a light on disparities too. Black women are twice as likely to be diagnosed with more aggressive types of breast cancer, yet are often underrepresented in breast cancer and other research. Sister Strut is a nationwide campaign that has become a tradition in more than a dozen cities now. And for the last few years, Victory Field has welcomed hundreds of women and men walking for a cure. So here are the details for the event this year, October 25th. Grab a friend or a group and head to Victory Field. By the way, the largest team will be recognized with an award at the event. So get your people together and register ahead of time at sisterstrut.org. Just make sure you click the Indianapolis link when you sign up. So these are just a couple of events that will be raising awareness and money for breast cancer research. And believe it or not, we've only scratched the surface of all of the events that are happening near you soon. So get out, enjoy, and we'll see you next time around the circle. I'm Jalea Brooks.